Hello to all my beautiful knights and queens of the world. You already know who it is. It's Mr. Royal Diamond, aka Mr.RoyalNieves, coming back at you with another phenomenal video. So let's get into it. My next topic is basically save the children. You know what I'm saying? And I mean save the children like um making sure that you're not putting them in harm's way, making sure that you're not just talking to them or treating them any kind of way. You get what I'm saying? Because if you are a type of person that is always speaking negative, that is always operating out of fear, out of jealousy, out of insecurity, then you are passing those things down onto your children, the next generation. You get what I'm saying? Making sure that you are preserving their innocence, making sure you're preserving their imagination, making sure you're preserving their truth. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean about you have to like save the children from a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I know it may not be easy for a lot of parents. And this is another thing I want to talk about is basically if you're not ready to be a parent, make sure that you're not engaging in activities that might lead to you having children, and then in return you end up adopting them, you end up having abortion, you end up abandoning them, or just put them in orphanage. And because there are precious jewels, they come from God, those are gifts from God, and those are your responsibility. Now if you are woman and man enough to lay there and do what you did to have them, then now you have to take care of them. And this goes both ways, both mother and father, regardless if you guys are choosing to stay in a relationship, regardless if you guys are choosing to co-parenting, whatever it may be. When it comes to children, make sure that now all that excuse making, all that acting recklessly is out the window. That now you are taking due diligence in healing yourself, preparing yourself to step up and take care of what you created. Because why would you get rid of something so precious and valuable? If you know how it feels to be mistreated, lied to, abused, given up on, walked on, all that craziness, what make you think it's okay for you to do that to your own flesh and blood? You get what I'm saying? Because we as people, as God's people, people who are parents and want to become parents, people who are adopting children, need to really take a step back and really begin to pray about these things before you take that leap. You get what I'm saying? Because there's people who can't have children and they will die to have a children. You get what I'm saying? There's people who can have children, but they treat them like they're nothing and they should throw them out to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? So we need to really understand what is going on with ourselves before we bring in another life into either a chaos environment or a healthy environment. We need to really understand ourselves. You get what I'm saying? There's so many people who want to have children but don't really take the time to really visualize what that is and what that entails, and then taking proper precaution in that journey. You get what I'm saying? In that, okay, now we got our ducks in a row, now we can begin the process. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. You have to save your children. Like, you have to really stop like mistreating them, hitting them, lying to them, abusing them, treating them like they're an adult when they're just children, when they don't know any better, thinking that they're supposed to they're supposed to take on your responsibility as an adult, as when they're children. You get what I'm saying? You need to just start doing what you need to do in order to preserve the children. That's what I mean about save the children. Like making sure they are okay, making sure you are instilling the right values in them, making sure you are doing all that you can, not only for them, for yourself as well. Because if you're not in the right state of mind, then you are not in a position in order to help them or take care of them, because basically you can't give them what they need. You understand what I'm telling you? So this is what I mean about save the children, making sure that regardless of how the situation may be, that you are doing the best that you can to protect them, nourish them, keep them safe and sound, keep them out of harm's way, making sure you are instilling in them. Because you need to understand that the words that you tell them, the words that you are speaking, the demonstration of your body language, how you are coming across to them, is imprinting a image within themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're basing their words, their truth, their life, their identity based on how you're treating them, what you're saying to them, how you make them feel on a daily basis. So if you are constantly making them feel like they're doing something wrong, they're not perfect, that they're creating their identities based off that, because they're children, they don't know any better. You are the main influence in their life, so you need to make sure that you are not doing all this crazy stuff and then expecting your child to be like, oh, my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't work that way, because if you treat your child with kindness and love and respect, those are the qualities they will instill in their identity. But if you treat them with disrespect, with lies, hitting them, screaming at them, calling them out their names, all this extraness, then that's their identities. And not only that, that's something they're going to carry on into their adulthood. And you don't know what kind of paths they might take based on how they really feel about themselves. You can't treat trauma with trauma. You get what I'm saying? You can't heal a brokenness that is upon yourself to seek that healing. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people feel like having children will fill a void that is lacking within them, and it doesn't happen that way. A lot of women feel like they can have children just to keep the man in the relationship, or and stuff like that. And it doesn't work out that way, because it goes both ways. If you're having a conversation with someone, you want to get into a relationship with someone, you are with someone for a certain amount of time, you bring the topic of, oh, I want to have babies, or I want to have children. That's something you both need to talk about, right? But if one party is kind of like nonchalant, basically kind of like don't want to have that conversation, or already made it clear to you they are not ready to have children or have any more children, you need to take that into a big consideration. Because if you keep pushing someone, they're just going to end up leaving. You understand what I'm telling you? You cannot treat each other like you're animals, like you're obligated to stay. If you're not being respected, valued, cherished, most importantly respected what you're saying to them, they are going to leave. You get what I'm saying? You both have to make a conscious effort to really establish that respect for each other, and really take into accountability, what each other are saying, and then think about it, and then make a rational decision. Rational, not emotional, rational, thinking things through. You understand what I'm telling you? I don't understand what is the fantasy nowadays, but women really think, or men think, that a child is supposed to fix all the brokenness that the parents have been through. If you are going through that phase of hurting, of despair, of lying, or whatever it is, you cannot begin to have children, because you're just not in the right emotional state, mental state to have children. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you don't realize it's a responsibility to have children, that is another another thing you have to take care of, and you're not ready for that, then that's okay. Make sure you're making that clear. But don't be like, okay, I don't want to have children, but then you're doing things that's going to cause you to have children. It doesn't make sense. I feel like a lot of people have this I can fix them mentality. Like, oh, if I just keep, he's going to do what I say, or she's going to do what I say, because like people try to manipulate the love they have for each other, trying to get things that they really are not ready for, because they are so influenced by the idea, oh, that looks good, like the whole getting married, being a wife, being a husband. Like, people want to get, I'm like, this is like a pandemic. Like, people, I know you for a week, 2 months from now we're getting married, 3 months from now we have 6 children, and whoa, like, I don't even know you, I don't even know myself, like, and I'm already doing the most, and then you wonder why there's such chaos, such craziness happening. You get what I'm saying? It's like people live in this delusion, and then they wonder why they keep going on this road of despair, of hurt, or chaos, because they're not really doing their due diligence of healing first, making sure you are all set, you are good, before taking that big step, before involving a new partner, getting involved in a relationship, having children, getting married. Like, like, marriage is just a certificate. You get what I'm saying? It's like, marriage is basically what people's idea of a marriage is like, oh, we should, now we have a paper, now we have the ring, now we have the image of like this marriage. But marriage is a long-term commitment. Marriage is basically until the day that you die, or if your partner passed away, God forbid. That's what marriage is. Marriage is a committed relationship. It's something that you have to work on day in and day out. People change, people grow. You have to understand, you have to have that mentality of long-term. Okay, like, okay, I married this man in 2020. That's not going to be the same man in 2021, 22, and 23. And you do want someone who wants to grow, that when you look back, every year was a year of growth. If you've seen them grow up. It's not like getting married to somebody and they're still the same person in all areas of their life 20 years down the road. Like, what are we doing? But Like I say in all my videos, I love you. God bless you. I thank you. Comment, like, and subscribe. Until my next video. Peace. You already know, take the world by storm. Until my next one.